We just spent an amazing 4 days in Budapest, and as you can tell by the length of this video, this city blew us away. It might be one of our favorites in Europe if I'm being honest. Now in this video you will see the amazing food we got to try, both traditional Hungarian as well as other cuisines, some of the most beautiful architecture in all of Europe, the history that you can feel throughout the entire city, the quirky ruin bars, and an awesome culinary experience we got to partake in. So if you are headed to Budapest soon, make sure to watch this video till the end. We arrived in Budapest in the evening, and on arriving to our hotel you could see the beautiful Parliament building across the street. We stayed at the Aurea Hotel and we can highly recommend it. The rooms were beautiful and comfy, as well as being in a great location with trams and the subway very close by. After dropping our bags at the hotel, we were starving, so we decided to stop by Kui, a beautiful Thai restaurant close by. They are opening a Japanese restaurant next door as well, so I was able to try the ramen. It was a great meal and a good place to try in Budapest if you're looking for Asian food. After our delicious meal, we had booked a Danube River Cruise for that evening, and it was a good way to work off our meal as the dock was about 15 minutes away. I booked this on Get Your Guide and it was the cheapest one I could find. You can go as fancy as you would like though, with some of the boats doing all you can drink, champagne, beer, whatever, and other ones do dinner included as well. But we just wanted to have a nice cruise, so this worked best for us. Now I highly recommend doing a night cruise, as Budapest really comes to life at night with beautiful lighting on all of the amazing architecture in the city. Also, another thing you need to keep in mind is the Parliament lights turn on at sunset, but they turn off at some point between 10 p.m. and midnight, depending on the time of the year that you were there. So make sure you go before then, because I promise you that is not a sight you want to miss on your Danube cruise. Our hotel is right there. Yeah, but behind that building. Now, since Budapest is on the river, it can be a bit chilly and very windy in the city, as you can see by the flags going right there. So you may want to bring a jacket or whatever you need to keep warm, especially if you want to sit on the outer portion of the boats. Most of these boats do have an inside though that stays warm, just in case you forget. Last thing to note about the river cruise is that it will take you about an hour to go from one end to the next. I was kind of shocked how far down they actually took us on both ends. You could even see the football stadium, which is at the very far end of Budapest. So I thought that personally was very cool to see. Boat cruise, yay or nay?
Yay!
You liked it?
Loved it.
Now do that thing I do with the knees. On day 2, our journey begins with a trip to St. Stephen's Basilica, the largest church in Budapest and third largest in Hungary. It is named in honor of Stephen, the first king of Budapest, from 1975 to 1038, and you will see why I mention the years in a couple minutes. But overall, it was a beautiful church with a stunning interior. The dome you see in the center of the church is actually a false dome, and you can climb the real outer dome to see views of the city. We opted to skip that, but because we didn't care to really see it. But that is something you can do. It is quite expensive though. Now this is what I mentioned earlier. They actually have the mummified hand of King Stephen here on display in the church. The history behind it is insane, so pause here to read it. Just insane to see, and what I believe makes this a must stop while visiting Budapest. Now as we leave the church and head to our traditional Hungarian lunch, you see so many beautiful statues. They're everywhere in Budapest, and one reason the city is so beautiful. We had lunch at Hungarikum Bisztró, one of the highest rated traditional restaurants in Budapest. This place was booked out for weeks in advance, but luckily the night before, a table opened up and I was able to secure it. Make sure you book it very early before your trip.
This is so good.
Huh?
It's
Yeah, is it good?
You want some?
I'll try it. Do it.
I can't do it.
The food definitely lived up to the hype. The goulash meat was a little dry in the goulash, but the same meat was on the other dish I had and it was amazing. Rose had the hortabagi crepe, which was a chicken-filled crepe with paprika sauce, and that was great as well. We highly recommend checking it out, and as you guys saw, they give you a free palinka shot at the end, and man, it was so strong, Rose couldn't do it. But that is a famous drink in Budapest, and something you should definitely try as well while you're visiting. On to our Parliament tour. This is another tour that sells out far in advance. If you show up early in the morning though, you can usually find a few spaces open on tours throughout the day. That's just something to keep in mind and be aware of. Now this tour, when you look at the outside of the Parliament, you think it's grand, beautiful, but this tour was kind of a letdown, guys. We cannot recommend it. The tour lasted maybe 30 to 45 minutes. They block you off from so many things, like you get to see 2 or 3 rooms. And probably the only thing that was cool that you get to see is behind this shot here that you're seeing. They have guards walking around, guarding the crown jewels of Hungary. And that was really cool to see. Some people were recording, you weren't supposed to. So I attached a few photos here that you guys will see. And yeah, they were just walking around that thing all day long in a circle, guarding the crown jewels. And if you got too close, they would get up next to you and push you away. It was crazy to see. So they took it really seriously. But other than that, unless you're into like politics and parliament type things, we definitely wouldn't recommend doing this tour because there is so much more to see in Budapest. But it's up to you. Just our recommendation. The outside is much nicer and cooler to look at than the inside. What up, guys? Rose and I just put our down payment on our new house. Look at it right here behind us. Beautiful, isn't it? How much did you pay?
$1. Because I'm stealing.
Now, I had Rose walk up to this monument here just to give you guys a context of how big some of these monuments in Budapest are. They really do not play with their monuments and statues. You can tell they drop tons of money when building these things. And I'm telling you, it just adds to the beauty of the city. They're everywhere and they're all different things. We loved seeing them, and it just adds another, extra little vibe to the city. Right across from the Parliament building is a chilling memorial. The shoes on the Danube representing the victims of World War II who were ordered to remove their shoes before they were shot at the edge of the water so that their bodies would fall into the Danube River and be carried away. Shoes were valuable belongings during that time and is why they were left behind. This memorial is often very crowded, so make sure you try to go early or late at night to see it more to yourself. After seeing the history of the Parliament and shoes on the Danube, we decided to visit the Budapest Retro Museum, which offers a unique glimpse into Hungary's socialist past, immersing visitors in the everyday life of the 1970s and 1980s. Get to work. It's the type of fridge you need. It is definitely a cool museum to check out if you have an hour to an hour and a half to spare to check it out what life was like in socialist Budapest. Oh.
Bug. Sorry about that, I'm just learning.
And this was Rosa's first chimney cake of the vacation. Let's see how many she puts down by the time we leave Budapest. As we got ready to head to dinner, we ran into a couple more statues, like I said, and we were surprised to see Ronald Reagan out here. Let us know why Ronald Reagan is here, please, because we don't know why he's in Budapest. And then there were so many statues with dogs. This is the first one we saw. You'll see another one later in the video, but we love to see that because we're dog people. And then we ran into the Budapest Theater and they were filming a movie out front and they didn't invite us to be in it. So that was a little rude and disrespectful. So next time, invite us to be in the movie. We want to be famous too. Thanks a lot. All right. Yes, guys, we tried Mexican food in Budapest at Teresa Mexican Food. They had great reviews, and we know to give up trying Mexican food in Europe because it's not good, but we always try. And this place, it was okay. The meat on the tacos was decent, but it wasn't great, all right? You guys know Mexican food isn't good in Europe, and if there is a good place, let us know where it's at. All right, I hope you guys are keeping track, because here's chimney cake number 2 for Rose. Let's just keep track. This is number 2, but I agree she needed one after that terrible Mexican food, all right? And if I'm being honest, I probably ate the whole thing. She probably only took one bite, but I don't remember. Tell the people what happened.
I blacked out for our last chimney cake and I had to get another.
And that was a wrap for day 2. Stay tuned for day 3, because that one is a banger. Day 3 began with a trip to the hospital in the Rock, an underground nuclear hospital bunker during World War II. No filming was allowed inside, but I added it to tell you it is definitely worth checking out. And at one point it was a top secret Russian facility. We stopped by Rusworm Confectionery, which is the city's oldest and most distinguished pastry shop. Over the years it has served dukes, princes, and even members of the royal family. It is the oldest confectionery in Budapest, being founded in 1827, and it is known for their famous cream cake.
It's disgusting, so let me eat.
It's good.
Oh my god.
It's amazing.
Be rude. So cut this from the video. But this tastes like when McDonald's was in their prime time of apple sticks.
After trying the apple pie, I don't know if I want to try this cream cake.
It's not apple pie.
Okay. You love it? It does. Now we happen to get lucky to get a seat inside. People wait in line for super long to get a table in Rusworm. You can get things to go though if the line is long. The apple strudel is to die for, and we 1000% recommend it. The cream cake was actually great too, and it grew on me the more I ate it. This place is a must try if you were in Budapest. Alright, next we did the Matthias Church tour, or also known as the Church of Our Lady of Buda Castle. Now, I know we already went and saw the other church, and Europe has beautiful churches everywhere, and I know most of them are the same, but this one just had some crazy ornate details. It was beautiful. One of the most beautiful churches we've seen, and we have seen a ton in Europe. But just the details on this church, from the paintings to every little touch that they had, just made it special. So this church I highly recommend checking out while you're in Budapest. It was just so unique, and it also had a little museum area. You could go up top and look down onto the main area of the church. Just fantastic, beautiful. Highly recommend checking out Matthias Church. Another thing that I loved about Budapest, and it has to do with this church as well, but is just how much history this city has. So this church was actually founded and construction began in 1246. And us Americans, you just can't really comprehend that because there was nothing around back then, right? For us anyway, but that's one thing that really stood out, is just how they try to preserve and recreate that history, because we know in World War II, Budapest was bombed and really was beat to nothing at one point with all the bombings and stuff. So just a fantastic, fantastic, beautiful church. After going inside the church, we walked around Fisherman's Bastion for a bit. You can see a beautiful statue of King Saint Stephen here. It is one of the best places to take a photo in Budapest as well, but it's also one of the hardest, as people are lined up all day waiting to take pictures with the panoramic view. I will drop a couple pictures that we were able to take, but yeah, we aren't people to try and inconvenience others, so we didn't get the perfect view, but that's fine for us. Our next stop was over to Buda Castle, which is now home to a bunch of different museums. But the one thing I will say about Buda Castle is that it has the best views of Budapest, in my opinion. You can see from here just panoramic view of the other side, the Pest side of Budapest, which, if you know, Buda is the left side, Pest is the right side of the Danube River. Just a little quick history lesson there for you. But like I'm saying, just beautiful on this side, perfect views. It takes some time to take it all in. Alright guys, what is up with Europeans and dead deers in their statues, palaces? In Berlin we saw a dead deer hanging from the ceiling. Just let me know what's up with that, alright? Buda Castle had a pop-up selling food in the courtyard, so we were able to also try some of the Budapest favorites, the spicy sausage in a bun and in a bread bowl. And if you know me, you know I like to try a local beer wherever we are, so I tried the Dreher beer. Wasn't my favorite, but it was definitely a decent beer, not the worst. It was finally time for us to check out the ruin bars that we heard so much about. We went to Simpla Kert, the most famous ruin bar in Budapest, which is located in the Jewish quarter. It was the first ruin bar to open in Budapest in 2002 at a different location. The new location where it is now was set to be demolished, but the 4 owners decided to save the area and move the pub to this location. It is furnished with pretty much junk or secondhand items, but it gives off that cool Star Wars style pub vibe to me. We tried some random drink off the menu, which was a beer with some type of raspberry syrup or something in it. And yeah, it was pretty terrible. You'll see Rose's face in a second when she tries it. But I was surprised to see the beer on tap was from Prague and not Budapest. But either way, definitely a cool spot to stop for a drink and check it out yourself. Now, after having a drink at Simpla Kert, we wanted to try Caravan Street Food, which is pretty much a ton of different food trucks, all different cuisines, right across the street from Simpla Kert. But when we walked through, we didn't really see anything that we really wanted, so we headed over to Smashies. Now, Smashies is pretty famous for their smash burgers. They have a location in Budapest and now one in New York as well. So you know I had to secure that bag and give it a try. Now the fries had a real nice Cajun seasoning on them. They slapped, loved them. And the burger, as you can see, had a double patty. It was very flavorful and I really enjoyed the burger. It had some kind of sauce, like an In-N-Out style sauce on it. And you guys know it's a good burger because Rose the next day said we should go back and get Smashies again. And she doesn't even like burgers. So definitely try Smashies, guys. Our final day began with the favorite thing we did during the entire trip, a chimney cake making workshop. Now, if you guys recall Rose's first chimney cake way back in the beginning of this video, this workshop actually happened to be in that same shop. Our teacher taught us exactly how to make the chimney cakes, and then we went to work making 3 chimney cakes each. If you guys watch our other videos, you know we try to do one of these courses in every country we visit. They're so fun and we always recommend them to everyone. And look at me roll this chimney cake. You gotta have some magic fingers to do that. Sheesh! Now, if you've never heard of a chimney cake before, they are native to Hungary, but they are sold all across Europe, and they're really popular in Europe. They're starting to be seen in the States a little bit more. I know there's a franchise that was on Shark Tank that started selling them in the States, but man, are they amazing. Highly recommend you guys try them if you can find them where you're located. But when you're in Hungary, you definitely got to try a bunch of them. So we're going to show you guys the whole process here of how they are made. And let me tell you, these things are delicious. I would eat them every single day if I could. Yep. Now, guys, I've lost count, but I think that's chimney cake 3, 4, and 5 for Rose. I think you got to remind me what we're at now. Such an awesome experience, and they gave you a certificate of completion at the end, and we accidentally left them at the hotel. Also, I forgot to mention that those were the best chimney cakes we had in Budapest, were the ones we made. Yeah! We then quite literally walked about 3 miles to the cave church in the Gellert Hill. The church was opened in the 1920s before being shut down in the 1950s by the communist regime, who sealed the entrance with concrete and tore the cross down from the top of the hill. It would reopen in 1992 after the fall of communism in 1989. It is definitely one of the most unique churches in the world, being built into the natural rock of the hill. It is worth checking out, but we would skip it if you don't have enough time in Budapest and see the other sites instead. Right outside the entrance of the cave church is actually another great photo spot in Budapest. Here's the shot for you right here, just so you guys know for your trip. Now, we did go to the Széchenyi Thermal Baths, the largest bathing complex in Europe and world famous. It was built in 1913. I didn't record there because that would be weird recording people in bathing suits. The main pool outside was closed and it was super crowded. The other outdoor pool that was open was nice, but the indoor pools were kind of nasty with stuff floating in them. We personally weren't fans of the experience. Maybe we're bougie, but we prefer private spa sessions, so unfortunately it wasn't for us, but I had to add it here. Across from the baths was this beautiful castle and the best statue I've seen in all of Europe, the anonymous statue, which look up the meaning of it, but they say if you touch the pen you'll become a famous writer. But I just want to become a famous YouTuber, please, anonymous. We finally saw the Budapest sign when leaving the castle, and unfortunately when walking to the Hero Square, there was a huge protest going on that was looking kind of crazy, so we dipped out of there. Yeah, we were not sticking around. So unfortunately we didn't get to see it. So instead of attending the protest, we went to Bombay Indian food, and it was kind of an Indian fusion style of food, but man, it was amazing. The dish Rose got was fantastic, and it might be the best Indian food we've had in Europe. And our final stop after dinner was to Galert o Rosa. I surprised Rose with this one. She had no clue. But as you can see in this video, they make your gelato into a rose. And they do this for every single guest that comes to get gelato from this place. So it's kind of their unique thing that they do. And honestly, it's an amazing way to stand out from all the other gelato shops in wherever you are, right? So you'll see Rose's rose, and then you'll see my rose, but it was awesome. The gelato was good, and I thought it was a pretty cool gimmick for this shop to do. This is a video.
Oh.
Is it good? And we finished off the amazing last day with a local beer, the Soprani. It was delicious. And that's the end of this video. Thank you guys for watching all the way to the end. If you made it, please like and subscribe for more travel content from us. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out.